who dares to go near it. But ZartZu as well can play in the air, can look for those grenades. You can pick it up after you're down B in the air, and then start looking for angles to approach Hero if he doesn't control the center stage area.
Yeah, Banjo, I was talking about this yesterday as well. Banjo is a character that has a lot of good options, but no amazing options, no broken options. And that makes it so you have to utilize every single part of his toolkit, every single move you see ZartZu using. And he needs to do that. And it's going to be interesting to see what tools does he use in this matchup. Does he? And yeah, that's that, you know, just run in and suddenly there's a side B. And that goes so far, it's not a projectile, but it does kind of, it unleashes this terrible feeling in you, right? Well, the sound effect, that breaks your heart when you get hit by it. And does a lot of damage too.
ZartZu, though, managing to force Hope off stage, won't capitalize on it just yet, but here is the key factor. Bounce is available for Hope.
Yeah, what do you do then? Most of your best tools are gone, but still, you have other solid tools, but you gotta play neutral very, very carefully and not just throw out those grenades, but of course it will go over eventually. But the fact of the matter is that once in a while he will get bounced, and Hope knows how to manipulate the menu so that you are more likely to get bounced in the future. Because the menu works in a certain way that you get certain spells from certain categories, and when you use a spell from a certain category, you're more likely to get other spells. I'm not exactly sure on the specifics, but Hope is definitely sure on the specifics, and he knows exactly how to manipulate the menu, choose the right spell so that he's more likely to get certain spells like Bounce, like Zoom in the future.
So it's more like a deck of cards than an actual menu.
Yes, it's not all random.
No. And Hope, with his mastery of the character, has already taken a stock from ZartZu, who's struggling to find any sorts of kill conversions, going way down low. Oh. That's a bit too far. Would have needed a zoom to get out of there. And now, with the stocks evened up, ZartZu, Banjo with his combos needs just a couple of hits, good hits, to even out the situation. But Hope just not giving him any room to stay on the ground.
Oh, okay. God. Well, that's those buffs, they really do pack a punch, and they will go through a lot of the projectiles too. You know, there's some weaknesses with the eggs. It does kind of crumble to strong hits. If a move does a certain amount of damage, it just breaks through, and it does not care. And it even extends the hitbox, so it's going to be even longer that you just can't be around that area. Oh, and the crit! He deserved it because he gambled. That's a classic Hope phrase. You saw it earlier against Yofi. Crazy gambling going on there with the menu choices, and you know, if you gamble, you can't get something bad, you can't get something good. Sometimes the risk reward is in your favor. Sometimes it will just work out. And Hope, you know, this time it worked.
If you have a read on your opponent and you can crit, might as well go for it.
Might as well.
It's Banjo. He's not going to punish you super hard, even if it gets shielded if you're at the low percentage. Sure, out of shield, you can get hit by something like, not grab maybe, you can get hit by a neutral air out of shield, something like that, but it's not anything that you're too worried about.
Very, very true. Oh, God.
Man, just swinging wild. Way to start out game 2. Hope is kind of feeling himself, but needs to be careful around the offstage area. ZartZu chasing him down. Kazooie launching eggs as fast as he can, and wondering 93 already.
Yeah, ripping out the Wonder Wing. You see the old age of Banjo mains going, well, I only have 5 Wonder Wings. I can't waste them. I can't use them. I have to use them sparingly. Those days are gone. They go, okay, if I die without using all my Wonder Wings, that's a waste. I got to use all of them. And there we go. Another one right out from ZartZu, taking that stock surprisingly early.
Great conversion with the Kazooie eggs, able to get the juggle right up there. But with a zoom, Hope can go way off stage and start chasing ZartZu down.
Oh, and he got whacked. He gambled, so he deserved it.
You're not a hero player. You cannot react to the menu options that fast, and Hope was 100% ready for it. Instantly capitalizes on it, deletes the stock, no need to go to the blast zone if you can just remove the opponent from the playing area.
Yes, and that's what I was talking about earlier, right? You're completely right with that, just you can't react to it. It's that potential burst range. You don't know what you can expect, and that's why it's a really hard matchup to master. It's really hard to play against a hero like completely correctly because you don't know what to expect, and there's so many things that's hard to react to. You have to position yourself over him, right next to him. Can you just stuff it out? Can you go aggressive? It's really hard to know, and Hope knows that it's hard to know, so he just throws it out sometimes, and there it just pans out.
Speaking of hard to react to, Acceleratle, giving him those down throw 50-50s. Are you going to air dodge or not? He's super fast. Kabooms off stage. Kaboom.
Yeah, that's another super, super good one. Covers basically all options. I mean, you can definitely fast fall or air dodge through it, but it's, again, really, really hard to react to and really hard to do properly. If a character had access to Kaboom constantly, that would be broken.
It would be disgusting to play against, but thankfully not.
Thankfully, yeah.
Hope still doesn't seem to care. Finally, ZartZu finds another egg conversion here at 90%, evening out the stock situation, but still looking dire in here in this game too. Another Kaboom can't roll through it. The lingering hitbox will catch you out, and one more good hit, having the empowered buff.
Yes.
That's all he needs.
For sure, and 78% on ZartZu, and with the buffs as well, dash attack, they might have even shield broken if he shielded it. It's super, super good. That dash attack, surprisingly, you know, people tend to think, okay, dash attacks that take that long, they're pretty bad, because you can react to them, but if you get the buffs, it breaks your shield if you try to shield it, so it's super, super scary, and you can see in last situations, Hope just sometimes does dash attack, and then, you know, dash attack. So it does have its uses, and if you're not ready for it, it's going to be super, super tricky. And as ZartZu is one of the last, if not the last Finn in winner's bracket right now, it's looking dire for the home turf to secure their way into this top 8 winner side.
The show matches yesterday did not really go our way, and the bracket continues to look like the similar style of foreign domination, but ZartZu still not out of this. 2-0 down, but the reverse sweeps have happened before. He just needs to adapt quickly and not get hit by the armored side B.
That was optimal. He had the armor, so he just got a little bit of hit in, zoned out again, and then got the actual hit. Really nice stuff from ZartZu. Waiting on the grenade, not quite converting, but still got him in the juggle position and catching him with the forward there. The bounce is on deck. Now it's going to be a lot more tricky to keep this advantage going.
Gets a throw. Time for a 50-50 on the mash out. And it's not a 50-50, but it is a timing mix-up on how quickly you get out of the ground.
It's mash or no mash. So in some ways you could call it that, but at the same time, it's super, super tricky to get past, yeah.
And now, ZartZu, at an advantage for the first time, I think, in this entire set. Trying to get as much of an advantage as it can, as Hope trying to snipe him out with the upbeat exit.
Oh, good recovery. And it is like you were talking about, like Mystere was talking about earlier today. If you don't get 60% on the next stock, it's not a lead. It doesn't feel like that, because that's just one little conversion, but we got 64, that's a tiny lead for ZartZu. Of course, it could turn at any little moment, but with this ledge trapping situation, he could just push in the F-tilt as well. Ooh. I like the idea, not quite panning out though.
Still, Hope not finding any big hits just yet, and not really having time to look up anything on the menu either. Is also constantly pressuring him on this middle platform of Smashville. Finally gets the bounce.
Yeah, been fishing for that. I expect to see a lot less many. He was pulling out the many a lot, just looking for that bounce. Now that he's got it, he's going to push it a lot less, I imagine. He's fine with just playing neutral when Banjo just lacks his best tools.
Still bounce, limited time, and here's a conversion. Misses the last jump, I think.
Up tilt. Oh no, actually, the 50-50 once again, not quite working out. Hope has been doing a good job of mixing that. Going for the roll read, you're not going to get it. No crit either, so no harm, no foul. 58%, not too bad. No, now once again, bounce is on deck. We're going to see neutral just being played normally, but maybe not. Maybe neutral being played normally is just throwing out one ring, and it does work.
If it works, why stop? Now, another hatchet man. Hope sending it. Not getting punished too hard either, only 9%. Acceleraddle.
Really good grenade, throwing it out to just stuff Hope out, saying you can't just edge guard me for free here. I'm going to throw out an active hitbox, stop you if you try to go for anything.
Getting the speed boost off. Let's start to breathe a little bit, but the bounce, the instant to follow up with up smash. Whips this time, and a Wonder Wing just goes through his own grenade. Kaboom will finish off the stock, but another small lead for ZartZu to try and close out this game 3. Trying to go for the hard air dodge reads, but they're not succeeding just yet.
Trying to punish the side B as well. Not quite familiar. That's just a typical matchup thing. You're not quite familiar with when to punish it, when not to. And now the bounce is still not there, but I take it back. Bounce right back in it. Can we get a nice bait like we got earlier? Good footstool. Wow, what a tech chase as well.
Down air does catch Hope out. Needs one more solid hit to close it out. The Wonder Wing still 4 left. Up shield, up smash out of shield. Won't do it just yet. Hope zooms back to the stage.
Yeah, and Zoom having a 1 in 3 chance of getting out there once you are near the blast zone. Super, super good of Hope. And once again, manipulating the menu, which a lot of people don't know about, but it's super, super good for Hero. But they look like a comeback right now. Could this game just be a clean 3-0 sweep, or does ZartZu have anything to say about it? Yeah, it's gonna be scary, but 167 as well. No Zoom. No Zoom, and he doesn't get it, only getting the menu twice, and they're not having time to actually get the guaranteed Zoom.
He was running out of mana as well, so he was in a bit of a panic mode situation that he doesn't have the up B required to get all the way back to the stage, so the Zoom was all he could go for in that situation.
Yeah.
And ZartZu trying to go for the reverse sweep, but now you have 2 stage counter picks left in you for Hope.
Yeah.
And this could be a rough one for ZartZu.
Reverse sweeps are super, super difficult. It's a constant uphill battle, but we have seen ZartZu doing some clean adaptation. You saw earlier, a little interaction that I want to talk about is that Hope had bounce, and then ZartZu throws out the grenade, and we think, oh, it's just autopilot. Why did he do that? That's a bad option to go for. But then when Hope goes to just run into the grenade to reflect it, he just Wonder Wings. And Hope not ready for that, just using the actual projectile as a bait. Really, really nice stuff, and that's the kind of stuff we love to see from ZartZu, the nice little adaptations to this matchup.
Also going for even more of those hard reads, seems to be the theme of this game. Another Wonder Wing rocks right into Hope's shield and gets a small punish off of it. Still an even game, bounce wears off, and ZartZu can try and play the projectile game once again, but Hope pushing more into ZartZu's face this game.
Yeah, I think playing more close range is maybe not the move, but I do understand the little bit of desperation once you finally lose the game. You're getting a little bit scared, like you're scared of the reverse 3-0. Like one thing is like there is an uphill battle to play on the side of getting the reverse 3-0, but at the same time, there's nerves when you lose that game. You're like, okay, if I lose this game, suddenly I'm on the brink of getting into loser bracket after actually having it, and then mental factor is so huge, and it's something people tend to underrate. Oh, and the back air into up smash. What a conversion! The little pop up from the back air, securing the stock right there.
And ZartZu, all out of Wonder Wings, manages to close out the stock without it. Now, again, he needs to rack up as much percentage, but Hope so good at finding these forward smashes to send ZartZu to the blast zone with a crit that probably even wasn't needed. It's an even game state, and we are back to square one where... Oh, no!
He gambled, so he deserved it.
Disaster strikes at the critical moment. One good read is all Hope needed to delete the stock, and it's one more that Hope needs to send ZartZu all the way to the losers bracket.
And the momentum right now is carrying away as well, 70-80% on such, and it's just going for more. Wonder Wings is actually working out right now, but he's truly following the thought process of, if I don't use all my Wonder Wings, what's even the point? I'm just wasting. Don't waste your food. Just use it. Just eat it up.
And ZartZu, feeling the pressure, needs to do something, trying to cover all the zoom angles with the grenade toss. Hope still makes it fairly safely back to the stage, and the percentages approaching kill percent for Hope.
All right, the F tilt once again. He's doing really good. If it wasn't for that one stock, I think ZartZu might still be in this, but just one clean advantage right there from Hope is all it takes to change. And now bounce on deck once again. Can we get it? He goes for the bait, but this time Hope ready for it. The adaptation worked earlier, but now the counter adaptation was the thing that secured the set for Hope.
Once the opponent starts going for those Wonder Wings, you can start expecting them to come out as well. 5 of them per stock. Hope was ready for it, just jumps over and punishes accordingly. Clean 3 games from Hope, with ZartZu trying to set up mount a comeback. It got 1 game, but just wasn't enough against the foreign invaders this time around.
Yeah, and I mean, ZartZu is definitely showing that he's able to adapt and put up a good fight against, I guess, the big boys of the Nordics, right?
Yeah.
Even without Lancelot, Finland does have a lot of good players. We were talking about Finland earlier. How they have a lot of really good players, but they're lacking that, except for Lancelot, that very, very top player. Like Denmark, for example, has in the form of Hope, if you'd like to sit down. We were talking about how at the end you were kind of going a bit more aggressive, and in the beginning you were going kind of like camping out, spacing, just throwing the projectiles full length the menu. Was there any kind of like conscious decision that now I'm just gonna go for this F smash, go for these smash attacks?
I have the same mindset with Banjo that I have with Steve, where it is I need to be in the lead, otherwise I'm not comfortable in general. I really like Banjo, it's actually my favorite character in the entire game. I just can't play him, but I don't feel comfortable in playing against Banjo in the way he feels, so I always play a bit shaky, so before I can be confident, I need to be in the lead and have like some percentage in front of it. And so I was very happy with that up smash critting. The point of it was just to do a lot of damage, because like people always normal get up a normal take. But then he killed. I'm like, that's even better.
Yeah, yeah. I like broke my throat screaming for that. So that was definitely clean. Next opponent though, I believe you have the winner of Anvil and Pfeiffer. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, like Pfeiffer, I have a pretty consistent record upon. So there I will be probably a bit more confident for myself. But the thing with that is that it's always Dog Pit there. And I've been really practicing Hero lately. Not that I don't play Dog Pit at all, but I can definitely tell that like, oh wow, I would rather please stay on Hero the entire day if it's possible. And then when Anvil, of course, last time I won, but that's the first time me or any Dane ever beat Anvil. So that's the like, oh, you beat him last time? Sure, of course, but like, that's the first out of how many times you tried?
True.
Right?
Yeah, I do like what you're saying with sticking with Hero, because I think there's a clear advantage of solo maining, at least at a certain event like this. We're prepared for all the matchups, you know. There's a comfortability with it, right?
Yeah.
And not having that like shaky. Do I go Dark Pit? You know, do I change my characters here? That like questioning yourself. I think that's really difficult.
That's what I'm scared of there, because it's like I am so on fire with Hero that my brain was going to do that. But then my conscience is like, look at the set record. None of that was Hero. That was all Dog Pit. You can't change that now. You're going against statistic. Well, I'm like, I'm probably just gonna sit down and play a bit of Dog Pit just in case. Because with these two, I don't know. Actually, If you ask me to bet money on one of them, I would, on paper, say Anvil, just because of knowledge and stuff like that. But I've clearly been shown that Pfeiffer, especially lately with how much Smash Dodges has been playing and leveling up, even if I'm still winning, I'm just like, damn, this is always going game 5. This is not comfortable.
Because it's always a danger of like, you go Hero game 1, and then you lose. But I got it with Hero. And game 2, you also like barely lose. But then like, but do I go Hero now, or do I go, or do I go Dark Pit? And
that's the issue of playing many characters in general.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just sticking to the two things that I know, which is Hero for a lot of this, because matchup check and also the unique way I play Hero, and then Dog Pit for these other people who are just fundamentally good. But I'm like, well, I'm also just fundamentally good at Smash Bros.
Yeah. I definitely am looking forward to seeing the set, looking forward to see what characters you bring out. The Hero definitely going crazy today. We're going to try to keep these interviews short, so we'll see you later in bracket today. And up next, Anvil versus Pfeiffer. We're just talking about this set on paper, like Hope said. Maybe Anvil is the one to take it, but historically also, it's been going back and forth. I remember the last time I at least saw these two people play was at DreamHack, and the last DreamHack where Pfeiffer won the entire event, Anvil coming second. Pfeiffer doing a really good job in grand finals. So I think you can go either way right here. It's depending a lot of just the day form. How are they feeling today, right?
Yeah. And from what I've seen Anvil over in the Finnish tournaments, he usually does pretty well when he's visiting a rainy and beautiful country.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't raining. What are you talking about?
It's just the thing about people traveling out of country and going to these tournaments. I think, especially Anvil, when he's been here multiple times, he's starting to get used to it a little bit. And if you looked at his show